welcome back to Logitech G at Gamescom. I'm Louise and I'm joined by Matt.
Hello.
We've been playing all the latest game releases this week, but Matt has been hands-on with Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. Now this is very much your kind of game, Matt. Tell me about Sekiro.
We've said that a few times, but it is true. So it is from Hidetaka Miyazaki, the guy behind Bloodborne and behind Dark Souls. And it's a samurai game set in sort of a semi-magical version of feudal Japan.
Right.
And it's amazing.
It looks terrifying. It looks seriously dark and twisted.
It is. It's like for quite a bright game, it can be quite sort of oppressive and it's quite imposing, but in a very kind of soulsy way. And that there are elements of it that are beautiful, but also you just get this pervading sense that everything is there to kill you because it is. And it's tough. It's a tough one. Like for me, it's a really similar jump to the one between Dark Souls and Bloodborne in that it's a very familiar world, and the sort of the way that the game works is quite familiar. But there are sort of nuances and differences in it that immediately make it feel a little bit harder to sort of get to grips with straight away. And the biggest one obviously is traversal in the way that you move around the world. So obviously you have a prosthetic arm with a grappling hook on, and there are other elements that the prosthetic arm does as well, which we can come on to in a bit. But the grappling hook and the fact that you can jump and essentially jump off walls as well is like a huge change for a Souls-alike game.
Yeah, that adds a sense of verticality that surely just wasn't there before.
Oh, totally. I mean, you could run and jump in old Souls games, but it was really, really cumbersome.
Yeah.
And one of the other elements as well that's really interesting is in all the old Souls games, one of the common deaths was that you would roll or backstep or jump accidentally off a high point. It's a lot harder to do that here. It still happens, but like there's essentially like a barrier stopping you from accidentally jumping off.
Right. That seems
surfaces.
like a good thing. That almost seems like something nice that they've handed over.
What
have they taken away? What have they must have taken away.
Because with Miyazaki, every single nice thing he adds is going to be adding 10 more horrible things to ruin your day. And definitely the combat, the area that we played, I couldn't tell whether it was earlier or late. But there were some stern challenges in that right from the offset. So a lot of the enemies you can take down with one hit because there are stealth elements, so you can do things like creep up behind them and do sort of a one-button takedown. And a lot of the times as well, when you're fighting as well, you'll get a prompt on screen that will allow you to do a one-hit takedown, which are these sort of beautiful, gory, brilliantly animated sort of katana through the neck kind of attacks. But then there are bigger enemies as well. If you try that stuff on, like you can take a huge chunk of their life off doing that, but they're not dead. And there's like a samurai general that I was fighting, and I got into that trap that you get with a Souls game where you're like, I know this guy's probably a little bit too hard for me here, but I think I can beat him, and I couldn't beat him. He kept beating me. Which brings us neatly to the death mechanic. I think so. There is like a respawn mechanic, like normal Souls games, and you die and you'll go back to a shrine that you've prayed at. But you also get like a second bite of the cherry, and that you can die twice.
So hence the title.
So yeah, like if you die in a particular area and you feel like you can come back with half your health and try again, you can do that. So again, there's like a choice to be made there as to whether or not you can,
Did you do that? Did you try?
I did, yeah. And like it's a really interesting balance because sometimes you do it and the same thing that killed you before is just going to kill you again because you have less health and it's still hard.
And it's that risk-reward thing because you would feel so good if you managed to go back in and do it with half your health.
Yeah. So it's really cool, and it's like as a whole, like it's a really, really interesting one and a nice twist on Souls games because it does feel different and like navigating, especially with the element of having to grapple around and the fact that you can jump on stuff, feels really, really different because that, if you're used to Souls games, you're used to reading the lay of the land and knowing where you can and can't go immediately. So there's a bit of a jump. Sorry, that was accidental. But there is a bit of a jump in the way that you navigate the world. Of all the games I think I've played, I've seen stuff that I've loved, but that's the one that I want to go back to and play again because it beat me up. And I want another try at it, and that's what draws you back to all Souls games. Is that feeling of like I can do this, I can get through it, and I just can't wait to see more. Because one of the things that we haven't talked about it too much, but we don't know much about the world, but it's fascinating, and there's going to be that depth there that there is with Bloodborne, with Dark Souls. It's going to be drawing inspiration from all sorts of interesting things, and it's just. Give it to me now. Now. 2019 is too long.
Put that on the poster. Listen to us, Activision. Now. We want it now. So you do have to wait until 2019 to play Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. But if you do have any questions about going hands-on, put them in the comments below and Matt will try and answer them. Drop us a like if you enjoyed this video and don't forget to subscribe to Logitech G for more videos straight from Gamescom.